I'm back, baby. Hello guys, Wavy Ocean here, back with another video. Now, yes, I am finally back, and I am not doing this as a Dragon Ball video or any other anime. Today, we're going to read a comic by a guy named Traynumba3, and he has some serious art skills. You'll see his improvement throughout the whole series. But with that, let's get into the video. Now, let's get into the manga, or comic, I don't know what to call it. Now, we see that it's called Phantom, and you see that one of the characters have a pilot sign because this is the first chapter, you know, to kind of test the waters, kind of like a TV show. Now, going into the chapter, we see somebody playing video games with his friends, and he's basically spamming. So he pulls out his phone and checks his messages, and it says, "I'm outside." He walks up the stairs playing rap music, and I respect that. I'm playing rap music while I'm making this video. And when he makes it upstairs, he says it's been a long time, and he's gonna see what's up with them and basically roast them a little, and which is good because it's just not a static comment where it's just an anime stereotype. Most fan mangas and comics have that nowadays. There's no emotion to it. There's no connection. Anyways, he knocks on the door and he's still talking to himself, and he comments on him leaving the door open. He reprimands him. He goes in saying, "Don't do that again. That could possibly be dangerous." The brother just blows it off, saying, "I'm glad to see you," and rushes him to give him a proper greeting, which includes a big hug. And the bigger brother asks what's up, and the little brother replies by saying nothing, just playing video games. He says he misses him, and Jared, I see his name is Jared now, replies with, "It's been way too long." The bigger brother says, "He didn't even hear what I said." We see this art, and apparently I was wrong the first time. The bigger brother is Jared. I'm so sorry if that's annoying, if I'm just saying bigger brother, younger brother. I just don't know the names yet, and when I find out the names, I'm going to say the names. Promise. Anyways, it says he's a young man who has trouble making the right choices. That could be a possible insight to what the story has for Jared's true origins and how he got the scars on his face. So we need a new person named Dre, and apparently I think that's the little brother. Now, there are name tags, so I don't get anybody confused. And he asks, are they going to play? And I assume they mean basketball. But I may be wrong, and Jared replies with a stare. Now, you have to appreciate the emojis. It helps you grasp what feeling is in the story. And his phone rings, and it says, "It's time, what's up?" He answers the call and says, "What's up?" And the other guy on the end of the phone is saying there's a party going on later, and there's going to be females. Jared just says he's visiting his people right now, which is right, he's visiting his brother, and he'll follow up later. Now we see some art of somebody named Bray Sean, and that's the little brother. Now I'm not confused anymore. Bray asks if the person Jared was calling was one of his friends. Jared says, "Yeah, little brother." And he says, "I thought you weren't going to hang out with them anymore after what happened." Jared is just like, "It wasn't that bad. Why are you so mad?" And the brother just goes straight for the throat. He says those friends are no good, and he gets in so many bad situations with his homies, in air quotes, and he says the only thing he asks for him is to be there for him in a positive way. And oh my god, this kid does not mess around. He went straight into him. No censoring, no sugarcoating, just the facts. No sugar, just tea. And props for Tay just showing that Bray is not fooling around. Now somebody calls Bray, and I would assume it's their mom, and he puffs a cigarette. She puffs a cigarette, I'm sorry. And she asks who walked into my house when I'm watching TV. And Bray said it was Jared. And he says Aunt B, so I was incorrect again. He says, "Aunt B, how have you been?" And Jared says he's doing great. And he asks about her. She says, "I'm not doing that good, but go get some leftovers in the kitchen." They walk into the kitchen, and Bray says they got the best food. And the aunt says, "You know I got you on everything, right?" And Jared just says, "Okay." Bray looks into the fridge and he exclaims, "No, that's not what I'm looking for." When he says he found them, he puts some hot dogs in the microwave, and Bray jumps on the counter humming his favorite song and says, "We'll wait." Now they finish, serve hot dogs, chicken, and fries. And let me just say, I would be very happy to get that dinner. Just keeping it a buck, that's some good food. Now Jared has a bad feeling, which reminds me of a certain manga from a certain shonen anime. But he brushes it off, saying it's nothing. Bray says he has something to show Jared. Now Bray runs into his room, saying he needs to show Jared this, and the phone rings. And the person on the other end said he's going to get to him soon. And he says, "Bet." He goes back to Bray, and he has something in his hands. And there's a question, what is the mystery object? And he says sorry because his room was so dirty. And Jared gets a text, and he says, "Be there." And Jared replies with, "Give me 2 minutes." Bray says, "Check this out." Jared questioning what the heck it is. And Bray says it's a ghost stone, and he's heard about it in myths. And he says he found it at the beach, and Jared isn't having any of it. He walks away and tells Bray he has to go, and Bray says, "I guess I'm going to be lonely again." But then he questions it, saying he's only been there for 45 minutes, and he asks if he'll come back. He says yes, and he leaves. Now there's a man in shade, and he asks if the rock contains any supernatural powers, and Bray isn't the only one with the stones. And he goes on the phone and says the myths are true. He asks to hide it from the public, and I understand. We are not trying to have another Dragon Ball Z, or My Hero Academia, or My Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter. I don't know why I said My Hunter x Hunter. Anyways, the person on the phone says Roger that. And they said they will exterminate and manipulate people of color, and they will be unstoppable. And with that, the manga chapter ends off there. Now, this is unusual for what I usually do, but I've seen some sketches for the later chapters, and he has some serious talent. And I go into this completely blind. I write the script while I'm reading, and I record it as is, so I'll be able to experience it with you. I'll put the link in the description for the actual story, and with that, I'm now Brony, and peace. It's good to be back.